Good morning, happy Monday, welcome to ArtDay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with the recipe book project, and today I'm having part 2 for you. Last week I started this project, and here is the video. It's in the iCards. Ta-da! iCards. I started sketching fruits and vegetables, and I'm pretty much gonna finish that today. I still have a lot of different sketches to go. To be exact, this stack of paper here has to be filled with sketches, and I hope I can do that in the 2 hours that I have set aside for this video. And I'm gonna get going right away. I'm just using a permanent marker, 0.3 millimeters. It's a Copic multi-liner, but you could use any waterproof ink marker if you wanted to do something like that. And I am going to start sketching strawberries. So I have 4 recipes that need strawberries as a picture, or where I wanted to have strawberries as a picture. So I'm going to, well, have them in different positions and kind of make them look nice. The first one I think is gonna be a duo, so one from the front, one from the back. And strawberries are pretty easy to sketch as they are kind of heart-shaped. And by using the sketchy lines, so these multiple lines to move forward, sketch out my fruit here, I don't have to be super exact with my lines, and I think that decreases anxiety or stress when you work with media where you can't really erase something, or you work with, well, maybe just the illustration-y style, you know. I think having an inked outline and either watercolor or colored pencil ink as the color in there, that illustration-y style, I very much like it, as it is quite freeing, actually also kind of fast, because you concentrate on the essentials when you sketch or fast draw an object. So you look at maybe a reference photo or something, or your imagination, whatever, excuse me, it is that you use, and well, you get stuff down on paper or canvas really fast. So there's the first strawberry. I can do the rest with a color. I don't have to think about a ground, shading, or anything. It's just an illustration, just a sketch. Not saying this is not worth anything or less worth than, say, I don't know, a full sketched or full drawn, painted portrait or whatever. Not the case. It's just that this is so fast to do that if something goes wrong, and something is not to your liking, you just start over and no big deal, you know? And I like that for certain projects a lot. Especially when I want to have kind of like the loose style and maybe focus a bit more on the colors and the overall look of something, rather than a tiny little line or a tiny little something in a drawing or a painting. And I really like that for my comic-y style. I like that. You've seen me do that a lot in Draw for Initiative, which is my board game painting show and stuff. So I just really like it to, well, have just some fun in the studio and enjoy and paint and draw and stuff, you know? And it is something that I like to do when wanna maybe also just loosen up the wrists, so kind of like a starter in the day, in the art day, haha, pun intended. You're welcome, folks. I like just to loosen the wrist and sketch a bit, have a drawing, and then go on to full-blown paintings or whatever. Sometimes I stay in the illustration-y drawing kind of style the whole day with multiple projects. Can you imagine? I think you can. It's kind of obvious that I like this style. But yeah, I like to do that when I have uplifting projects. I think this style looks uplifting to me. That's, by the way, 2 strawberries. Ta-da! It's like 6 minutes in. Not very slow, am I? Next up, smaller piece of paper. And I need to turn my stack, I think, yeah, because that one is not, this was not right side up. So I have 2 strawberries now. Let's go with 1 strawberry, a whole one. Oh, well, let's just change the angle just a smidge, but go with full strawberry from that angle again. Why? Because I can. It's kind of like a macro shot of the right strawberry from the earlier sketch. So this is something that I urge everybody to do that feels they're maybe overanalyzing every line they do. So if you are a person that needs to have every line perfectly correct, and you're kind of annoyed by that sometimes, or you think you kind of like handicapping yourself, you're hindering yourself in your progress of, excuse me, of getting better, getting forward, doing new stuff, learning new stuff, and you think, my kind of obsessing with every line is maybe counterproductive. Well, try it. Get a sketchbook and just set a timer. Maybe that helps for you. Set a timer, 5 minutes, and that is the maximum you could get for something that you want to sketch. And it doesn't matter if it's a whole city scene or just a strawberry. You get 5 minutes, and then it's penned down, and maybe you have fun that way, forcing yourself to loosen up your line work, your wrist, and just really get going. Get some ink on the paper. And that's another thing that I find really helps is draw the essentials things first. I don't fiddle with, say, I draw a person. I don't fiddle with the face first, like hair or eyes, eyelashes, nose, whatever. Nah, it's forehead, face, chin, neck, body shape, so arms, whatever, how much I see or I want to see in the drawing of that person. I get that down first, and if I have time then I can fiddle with facial expressions and stuff like that. So it's more like instead of starting bit by bit and having every little square centimeter perfectly done before I move on to the next, I start with a broad concept and go from there. And I find that quite freeing, I have to say. Of course, there's other drawings that I do that where I go square centimeter by square centimeter, but that is very rarely these days. By the way, I'm gonna get to another strawberry piece here, and I'm going with 3 now. So the number 3, I have 1 strawberry, 2 strawberries. They're all perfectly closed. Let's have some that they're cut. So the number 3 is a nice thing, odd numbers. So I'm having 1 strawberry whole and 1 strawberry cut in 2. So that makes 3. Anyway, coming back to what, where I maybe go bit by bit by bit by bit, that would be colored pencil. I'm a bit more quote-unquote traditional with my approach of working with colored pencils, but that is because of layering things, of course. And usually it's gonna be faces that happen with colored pencils, or animal faces, not necessarily human faces, but it's animals, for example. And that takes a bit longer just because of the medium, and I have to be a bit more precise because of the medium. But especially ink and watercolor, I'm going really loose. I mean, that's not to say I do not want to put effort and work in a drawing or a painting. No, I just paint the essentials or draw the essentials with ink outline. I hardly ever sketch, like with a graphite pencil underneath. With these squiggly lines, if I know exactly what I want to paint, what kind of scene I want to put on the paper, I can go in with ink right away. And sometimes that's kind of like a challenge or a thrill, you know. It's sometimes a bit more anxious, maybe, to do an ink drawing right away. And sometimes you say, yeah, I so need this now. I don't want to sit here and plan out my drawing to the max with a pencil first, and then go over the lines with ink, because I know I can do it, I know what I want to do, and I can go right in and ink, save myself some time, and in that time I could actually paint something else or draw something else. So yeah, just saying, if you want to try this, the squiggly lines, I think it's a perfect tool. So let's see, strawberries on the inside, they have these kind of lines, the white lines from the stem. So I'm just going to draw them in. And yes, you might ask now, why are they black when they're actually white? Well, I'm just putting them down to indicate, okay, there's the white line. And I'm gonna, when I go to coloring, I'm going to put color only on the outside and pull it in. So the color on this line will almost be white. And I'm gonna do the same from the inside. So, excuse me, having dark red here and then pulling it to the outside. So these lines are indicators. Also, again, it's a sketch. It's a drawing. Of course, you can, if you go for a full watercolor painting without any ink outlines, I would certainly not put down those lines, but I'm having a sketch here, an illustration-y kind of a thing, not a full-on painting. So of course I'm going to have those lines in there. I have to indicate maybe a bit more where things are, because I'm not planning to have 500 layers of watercolor on these sketches too. So as loose as I'm going to be with, or as I am with my line work here, this is exactly how loose I'm going to be with my paintings. So the coloring, you know. Another 3. Let's go with 2 closed and an open one, so a cut one. Maybe if the cut one look the other direction. And again, see, it's like a heart shape. Totally easy. Have the line work here. And the stem. Another thing that very much helps with making these very quick sketches is having looked at hundreds or dozens, I don't want to scare you, dozens of reference photos. And if you know what your object looks like, you really know what it looks like, it's so fast to then draw, or draw from life. That's another thing that really makes things very easy. I cannot draw fruit and veggies from life. At least if I could eat them raw, I cannot sketch them from life because I would eat them. And not draw them would be kind of difficult, you know. So, okay. Oh, I forgot. There's like a bit of the strawberry showing, so I got to have the dots too, and same here, dots. And then maybe one upside down, so you just see the red part of the strawberry, something like this. It's like a mountain almost. Something like that. And I didn't draw any leaves in the other, so let's have some leaves here. They're kind of like zigzag. Those leaves. One sits behind this berry, and the other one maybe here. Why not? I'm actually thinking about next year if I want to try planting strawberries on my balcony, because I've never tried that. It's okay. Ta-da! Strawberries, check. I also need to I think I go with cranberries next. I only need 2 drawings of cranberries, and they kind of look like blueberries, but they have another color, you know. And I also have to take a sip of tea. So, well, they maybe look a bit different at the top, or where the blossoms do come out. So let's go with a trio. Yeah, let's go with a trio. I don't think one cranberry would be exciting to look at. So it goes maybe something like this. And then they have the top, which is way more raggedy, like with zigzags growing upwards. With the blueberries and with the cranberries, it's way more flat. So, number 1. Let's go for number 2 here. And the top here. And then maybe before I draw in number 3, there's gonna be some leaves in there, and then I'm going to put number 3 behind this little twig of leaves here or something. So let's leave number 1, leave number 2, maybe some smaller ones. Boop, boop. And maybe there's another one here. And I think I need another one behind the small leaves. Something like this. Sorry. And then there's berry number 3 comes around like that, and you just barely can see where the top is. Ta-da! Cranberries. Kind of simple, no? And maybe I'm going to have a few more cranberries, but maybe I'm just gonna oh, let's stack them maybe. So something like this with the squiggly in that direction. And then there's another one here. Let's ground them with the squiggly in that direction. Excuse me. I'm having a dry throat today and I don't know why. Maybe there's another one here. That direction. Let's put the one on top first, then I know how much I need to hide the one that's gonna sit here. So this has a squiggly like this. Now I know where to put this one. Squiggly here. And there's another one just there with squiggly here, and maybe another one here. And I'm going to put in, I'm going to put in a couple of leaves just to get a bit of color contrast later on. Something like that. Nothing too fancy though. So I also need to have pumpkins, because I'm having a couple of recipes with pumpkins, and I need to draw 3 of the pumpkins. And I'm gonna start with just a simple pumpkin. Nothing fancy, just a closed, simple pumpkin, a Hokkaido pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, whatever you want to call it. But we actually do like to eat it a lot. Not so much decorated for the house. Looks like an onion almost so far. But believe me, it's a pumpkin. So let's have a few lines. They also have quite the gnarly stem, so let's put some lines in there. Pumpkin number 1. Pumpkin number 2 should maybe have a halved pumpkin and a closed one. Or, oh, I'm having quite the big surface here, so I could actually have 3 pumpkins, I think. Let's start with the one that is cut in half. So it would be something like this. Stem goes like that, and also it has kind of like thing down here. Then we have the flesh, and then the part where the seeds are sitting, so it's all the flesh. And then just draw in some pumpkin seeds. Kind of looks weird and almost very old cave-like in there. Got lots of stringy bits and stuff. But there's maybe a few more seeds up here. And then there's maybe a few more here. Because when you cut a pumpkin, you kind of smush up where the seeds sit. A few more squiggly lines for those almost spiderweb-like hairy things. And we have the cut pumpkin. But now I could actually... I've got enough space that I can put another pumpkin here. Maybe have it look like this. And have it go off to the side. And then we have the lines go like this. Another one's here. And then we could actually have one in the back, have a triptych. Why not? Let's have one more pumpkin. You can't see where the indentation of the stem is, because that one maybe goes something like this. Or it could have one of these vines on it with a leaf or two. Something like this, and this maybe has not so many dents, but it's a smoother pumpkin. Ta-da! But they're all orange. My favorite color, by the way. What else can I draw for pumpkin? Maybe another one, maybe a squash instead of a pumpkin, like butternut squash instead of Hokkaido. That could be something, because it has like a pear-like shape, and it has this different distribution of seeds. So yeah, why not? So have maybe also a cut-in one, something like that. And it has its seeds only down here. Almost looks like a pear so far, doesn't it? And maybe then have the pumpkin come down something like this. And we have the stem up here and goes something like this. Stem, something like that. There's the pumpkin or the butternut squash. Funny enough, in German, both things, so pumpkin and squash, are the same. It's Kürbis. So we have just one word for that vegetable. Maybe have a leaf down here. Bit of a green, because this is gonna have like a mustardy, saffrony, yellow kind of a tone. So let's have a few leaves maybe. Something like that. Let's stay with the orange. I need to draw carrots, and I need 4 different sketches of carrots. So I'm definitely gonna work with the color in that case, because there's purple ones, there's orange, there's red, there's yellow. We have different kinds of carrots. But they all have the same shape, so I'm going to work with the color way more than I do in other sketches. So there's number 1, maybe have another one laying like that. Maybe another one, because why not? And maybe one from the other side. Otherwise the carrot would roll this way, so we've got a stopper here. Something like this. So this would be carrot number 1. Carrot number 2, maybe have some with the green on, because I drew I didn't draw them with the green on. So there would be I'm just drawing in the stems of the green. I'm gonna have the leaves in a second. Maybe there's another carrot down here. There's another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Yeah. Well, maybe let's have a singled out one a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to draw in the leafy parts by just having those squiggly doodle lines up here and giving it texture, and I'm gonna fill this with green paint. Quite simple, is it not? So we got these carrots, and now maybe some that are cut. I don't know, maybe one's like this and just has the stems. Then there's another one underneath. Maybe one more. and some cut pieces. So cut pieces are like this. One, two, three, four. One more. Maybe there's one leaning. Something like that. And for the last one, maybe just cut pieces. Maybe like this. And another one. Let's have one like this. And maybe just one carrot laying behind it. Something like that. Or maybe a second one. Yeah, let's put a second one in here. Just to fill some more space. There we go. Carrots, check. Now, what else? I need oranges, but again, that's something orange. But I'm not coloring now, so maybe I should just go with the oranges. I need 3 of them. And I think I'm going to start with a halved one. Something like that. Could actually do it like this. And then have the inner white part. And the white stuff going on, and then it is those chambers of yumminess, the chambers of vitamin C. Ooh, that's more like it. And do I want anything else? Yeah, maybe part of a closed orange here. And it has a stem. Maybe also a leaf. Like that. And next up, maybe I'm having a wedge. Yeah, why not? Let's go with a wedge. Ooh, of course I had drawn myself, because why not? And goes something like this. And oh, it has this thing in the middle. Maybe just a complete orange behind it. Some of them have a thicker skin and then these indentations. And there's the top. Ta-da! Oh, hold on. No, I don't want any leaves there. And last but not least, maybe have the fillets of an orange. Something like this, and it has all these tiny little chambers of juice. You can see. Looks like a pickle for now, but well, I'm gonna paint it orange, so it's not gonna be pickle anymore. And maybe a complete fruit or two. Something like this, like a big one and a small one. And just have like that part, and here maybe have a full stem. Leaf behind and leaf in front. Something like this. Yeah, oranges done. Now, what else do I need to do? Spinach. Let's go to the green stuff. I do need to have 3 spinach drawings. And I think I'm just gonna go with a single leaf, maybe. Am I? Yeah, why not? Funny enough, tonight for dinner, I'm gonna have fresh, not free, but fresh raw spinach in there. And sweet potato. And some chicken. is pretty much what a spinach leaf looks like. Maybe I should add some of the veins. Ta-da, spinach leaf. It's really, really, really easy to draw things like that. It's a nice practice in the mornings or whatever, I don't know, lunch break or something too. Let's have a bunch of leaves. Maybe the ones... the ones that are maybe a bit more curly. Have a few stalks underneath here. Maybe there's a leaf looking out of the back there. Maybe one more. A couple of spinach leaves. And then maybe go for the ones with a bit of the root. So usually in the supermarket you get them just like I drew them. But when you harvest them, it's actually more like you've got like 2 or 3 that are attached to each other. Actually, it's more than 2 or 3. Get something like this. So there's like 3 or more on the other side of these 2 leaves. Then maybe another one of these. And something like that, and maybe a tiny one more. Spinach leaves. Sometimes when I say spinach leaves, when I talk too fast, it almost sounds like spinach sleeves, which is kind of hilarious to me. But well, what I also need to draw are apples. And I need, let me check the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go with different colors for one. I'm gonna have green and yellow and red apples, but maybe have one looking this direction. You have something like something like this. It's just laying there. Number 1. Number 2, well, let's go with the cut in half ones. So it's actually quite simple. Looks something like this. And then you have something like that. There's visible lines around the core. And then there's the core with the seeds. Something like that. What else? In what position can I put them? Oh, with a wedge. I didn't do a wedge. Oh, maybe have the wedge come out of the apple, like zoop, zoop. There's the stem here. And then there's like something like that. And then the wedge, if it sits there, should something like this maybe. And you have the core. With a seed. Come on, let's have a seed in there. Maybe a leaf too. Nah, no leaf. Like that. And then I do I have enough cardstock cut? I don't think so. Oh no, I cut too few cardstock. To do that in a second, to cut some more paper. But let's cut. No, let's do the apples and then I'm gonna cut some more paper. Maybe 3 apples. Maybe with a leaf this time. So let's have the leaf. And the stem. And then have the apple like this, and then there's another one in front of it. So let's go for that one. And the one in front is maybe cut. Oh, stem. Forgot the stem. Something like that. And maybe there's one in the back that is turned around. You can only see the part here. So something like this. And now for the final apple. Maybe let's do another one with a wedge, because I don't know what else to have. Like that. And have a complete full, maybe not so bumpy apple in the back. Stem. And maybe another one with the stem here, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, why not? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut more paper. Let's go for the final things. There's 2 more fruity woodies that I need. And one of them is ananas. Need 5 of them. So let's start with an ananas. Maybe like this. And then it has all of those leaves that are kind of heinous to draw in. Some bigger leaves and some smaller leaves. And then it has all of these funny little shapes. Not the greatest sketch, but well, don't really like to draw the skin, I think, of ananas. Well, it's has sometimes these things on the lower part. Something like that. Not my greatest sketch, but well. Next up, maybe slices. So something like that. It has a core and some weird shapes in there as well. But I don't have to be too detailed with that. Next up, something like that. Again, it has so the weird skin that I don't really like. At least not when it comes to drawing it. Maybe a third one, and then that should be it, I think. Let's have the cut fruit here. It's kind of bumpy on the outside, it's not smooth. There's like leaves coming up like this. Something like that. It looks so not like an ananas pineapple thing. Ananas is, by the way, the German word for pineapple. Just realized it's not the same in every language. It's like, ooh, okay. But yeah, well, let's draw even less pineapple skin. That's just the cubes. So, like a fruity salad. Maybe so there's a wedge or a cube or whatever. There's one and there. Maybe something like that. And they are, they're sitting in a pineapple. Why not? So there we've got the greens. And skin of the pineapple. Something like that. Ta-da. And then, what else do I want? Maybe wedges. How about wedges? But they're sitting in front of a pineapple. that they have been wedged out of. So something like this maybe. There's the weird stuff down here, and then those lovely, awful, boring to sketch leaves. Kind of annoyed with the pineapple, but well, so it's like here's the core, and then there's like the wonderful, so not wonderful skin. Pineapple. There's quite a lot of nice vitamins, but also quite the sugar. Squiggly lines for the skin part here, and the rest, yeah, I think that's enough. Not perfect, but then again, it's pineapple. And the last pineapple, yay! Then I only have the pomegranate. Pineapple, maybe just wedges and half a slice, maybe. Let's start with a wedge. And another wedge. Then maybe like something like this. You have all the squiggly stuff going on from the skin here. Then we have half the core and these shapes. And then there's maybe maybe it's like that. Awful skin. Am I whining? Yes, I am. I don't like to particularly draw these shapes of the pineapple. Oh wow. I have pineapple chosen to be in the recipe, so I should at least sketch them somewhat. Something like that. Yay, pineapple done. Now I have 3 more, and for that I need to have pomegranate. And I think what I want to start with is a sip of tea and a yawn. Woohoo, I'm sorry. It's kind of early. That was the sip of tea. Let's start with just the pineapple. Pineapple. Now the pomegranate. So it's like that, and then it has some more of these things going on. It has like that in there. It's like where it blossomed. And then it's something like, oh god, something like this. And then maybe I should have some little kennels of pomegranate. Being here at the bottom. I really love to eat it. I just don't like to prepare it. It's not very easy to prepare. But if I would actually pay extra money if somebody else would get out of all of those kernels out of the pomegranate for me and not have my kitchen look afterwards like Hannibal Lecter was in there and did some cooking. So yeah, Now, what else? I could have a wedge or something. Yeah, why not? Maybe like this is the top, and then there's half here. It has these chambers. Goes like that. And another chamber. And another chamber. Almost looks like a cow. And then maybe like this. And then there's all these little kernels sit in here. I have that like thin, papery, almost pergament-like paper in between, like skin. But I'm not gonna draw that because it, yeah, takes pretty much forever to draw that, and I can't really color it, so I won't bother. It's just perfectly prepared, this wedge of pomegranate. Okay, needs to have something like that here, and maybe a complete pomegranate in the back. Whoop. Something like that. The pomegranate. And for the last one, maybe I just have part of a wedge with the kernel sitting in there, or a kernel sitting in there, and then a few loose one, because I actually Yeah, I really like how they look when you peel them. It's just sometimes, or most times, when they're really yummy, they're super juicy and the juice goes flying everywhere. It's like high velocity vitamins or something. And for the last 20 years that I've been eating pomegranate, and preparing pomegranate on my own, I haven't really found out how to work with it and not have the kitchen really look like there's a bloodbath. Because pomegranate juice has pretty much the same color as like either cherry juice or fake Hollywood blood, and it's so sticky that it really it goes flying out everywhere, and you find it in the most far away corner in your kitchen like 2 months later. It's, yeah, not really fond of that part, but you know, there's like these tricks. You take the back, so the outer skin of the pomegranate, and you tap on it pretty wildly with a spoon or something, and then the kernels fall out. No, they don't. It's not really something that I found to be working. So if you have the ultimate trick, and I'm not talking about things that you can see on the web that supposedly works without making a total mess, I would love to know. Because I really, really like these. I just sometimes shy away of eating them because I know what a hassle it is to get those kernels out of the pomegranate, out of the constraints. So something like that, and then maybe have a few loose ones down here, just a few, maybe 3 or something. Maybe 5, 2 up here. Something like that. Ta-da! The sketching is done! Yay! So now let me check the clock. I've got 40 minutes. So maybe I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to color the sketches. Let me bring back a sketch for the camera. Let's bring this back. It's a bit nicer to look at than my hands. So I'm going to finish the video here. Next week I'm going to color, and I'm going to use, at least for the base layer, I'm going to use the Neo colors. It might be that here and there I'm going to bring in the Tombow markers later, but next week I'm just gonna quickly color all of the sketches with Neo colors. What I'm going to do in preparation, but that's going to be off camera, sorting my sketches into color groups. So all the orange things together, or the red ones, or the purple ones, or the green ones, so that I can easily rotate through all of these sketches and color them as fast as I can. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I will see you next Monday on Art Day, when it is time to color all of the sketches that I did. And I hope you enjoy this longer project. Maybe you are inspired to, well, make a recipe book of your own for all the loose collection recipes that you have in your house. And I'm really looking forward to, well, moving along with the process and getting there. Again, the blog post for this project is going to be up once it is completed. I will let you know when which week it goes live. And hit that like button if you liked this video. It very much helps and I very much appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and you like these longer kinds of videos and want to see more of them, well, subscribe and also hit that bell button next to the subscription button so that you're notified whenever I release a new video. Take good care, folks. Have a wonderful week. I'm going to see you on the next video. Bye.